What is up everyone, duckyobrien here, and today I'm excited to bring you guys a preview of a game called Resolutiion. It's Resolutiion with two eyes for some reason. Anyways, Resolutiion was developed by Monolith of Minds. It was published by Deck 13 and Mayflower Entertainment. It was released on May 28, 2020 onto Steam with an MSRP of $19.99. It was also released onto Xbox One, PS4, and Nintendo Switch as well. When we get into it, this is the full release. I previewed the game demo a while back, and boy is it a lot more than expected. So when we get into it, I'm gonna start a new game. You kind of start off here. Easy. Easy clap. Alright, let's get out of there. Seems to be a childhood memory. Seems like trippy things are happening. Okay, so basically this is kind of like the old school NES Legend of Zelda game. It's a pretty big map, it doesn't hold your hand, like you can get lost pretty easily. The combat is pretty okay. I think it's manageable. So you got the upper right bar, the red bar, which is your health. The blue bar is your action meter, your stamina. You're gonna get weapons later, abilities. You can also sprint. So those little red pickups are for your health and the blue ones are for your energy, so we'll refill them. Okay, so something is talking to you. The yellow things are credits. You can also press tab to bring up the map. So it's kind of nice in that you see your credits, your location on the bottom left, and then you can zoom in if you want, you can move it around, and the game will tell you where to go usually. So these things are save points. Now you can kill them when they're in a down state, but I'm gonna let it live, you know? Whoops, apologies, I didn't hit my microphone by mistake. But yeah, you got LB, your little AI assistant. and she kind of helps you out by scanning stuff. And that dude's still there, so we'll leave him be. So this thing is a save point. It will save the game and it will restore your health if you're missing any. So it's kind of funny, but you have amnesia. You can't really remember who you are, what happened. Seems like you were a ex-veteran of some sort. And something has happened, but you can't remember what. Okay. You can also completely avoid combat if you want. So these guys will kind of charge straight at you like that. I think I'm gonna lower the music a tad here. Now, while we're in the menu, I would like to point out a few things. You might want to rebind your controls. For example, the default controls are Y for attack, X to accelerate, C to use the item, and V to switch it. And this, to me, is very unusable. It's unnatural. So what I recommend doing is R for attack, Shift for accelerate, Q for use item, and W for switch. You can switch it to whatever you want, but I felt way more comfortable with this than the default controls, which were a little bit awkward to use. Okay, so he's apparently Call of Duty guy with redacted files and amnesia. So you're gonna slowly find out what happened as you play the game. Okay. So a couple things to note here. If you see a blue circle, you just walk up to it and stand still for a few seconds. You don't have to push any buttons. And then here we can switch to the shotgun, and then you can aim and shoot, and as you can see, it depletes your stamina. I would highly recommend using a controller with this game because I'm using keyboard right now, and while it's playable because I'm used to it, I think some people might find it a little bit difficult. I find it difficult at times. Okay, once again, those things are save points. I really like how the game looks and feels and sounds. It's pretty good, not gonna lie. I don't want to kill anything right now, so I'm just gonna let it go. By the way, enemies will hurt each other, so if you can kind of bait them into attacking each other, it's pretty funny. Also, these guys are like, they have a invincibility frame, so you just have to wait for them to attack and then you can attack them. If you want the attack patterns down, you can exploit them and defeat them pretty easily. More ninja dudes. Little shot cubes. I got lost in there for a little bit. I'm supposed to go down here. Another thing, this is a doorway, so sometimes it's not readily apparent what is an entrance and what is an exit. And so basically what you want to do is look for blue lines and go back here. There's lines over there. They're not blue all the time, but there will be usually some sort of color lines on the ground, and that's how you know that that is an exit or an entrance. Sometimes it blends in because it's like pitch black and you can't really do anything other than just look for the lines. Yes, and the dude's name is Valor. Expect some heavy-handed symbolism. A little, a little bit too much sometimes. Yeah, look, there's another dude. You're all bottle and no ketchup. That's the first time I've heard that insult. So he actually damaged his own buddies. Okay. Okay. There you go. He wasn't firing. I was like, what's going on? You do want to get rid of the little robot dudes, even when they're on the ground, because they will block your gunshots. Ooh, I'm gonna die here. Not doing as well as the first time I played this, or the second time. This is my third time recording because I could not find my way into the first mini boss, so I was like, I will just re-record it because it doesn't look good. I died there. Oh, I gotta mention here, good thing I died, because when you die, you lose pretty much nothing. All the progress that you made, like including the enemies that you killed and the things you destroyed, remain intact. All the upgrades you got, it's just that you respawn physically on that save point's location. Everything else is saved, so the only thing you lose really is your position on the map. So, see, look, these guys are already dead. Not only that, if you notice here, they skipped the dialogue for the boss fight, so you don't have to read it over and over again. So I think there's a lot of smart UI decisions in terms of like making sure that you have fun with the game, and there's really no repercussions for failure. So I really like that design decision. I think it's pretty smart. Okay, I gotta recharge. This is where having a controller would be very handy, because using a controller would be a lifesaver right now, because keyboard is not the easiest thing. It's definitely not the easiest thing. Oh, I keep not bringing out the weapon. It's a little bit frustrating. There you go. My keyboard is not the best, and it's getting pretty old, so... See, okay, just cancel my weapon hold. I think my Q button is dying right now. Okay. Get back at it again. Let's go. But yeah, dying has really no consequences. Everything that you obtained, everything that you killed, all of that, all the upgrades remain intact. It's just that your physical location on the map is reverted back to the save point. So look, if you observe here, all those little dudes are already dead. And if you look at the boss, he does not say his dialogue lines again. So you can just focus on having fun with the game. So you can go ham as you want. It's best to let him fire first. Oh, I was in the range of the bombs there. It's my fault. And then you can kind of reposition yourself and fire your gun at him. Wait for my energy to recharge here. Oh, that's a bit short. unfortunate. Okay, that was pretty easy. Okay, now I can shift. And, I mean, press shift to run. So this is pretty cool. It looks cool. I think it sounds cool. It feels pretty good. Now, if you notice, the music in the elevator is pretty, like, happy-go-lucky, while everything else is pretty grim, so it's a little humorous. I think the humor in the game is a little off-center in that, like, the dialogue feels a little bit disjointed, in my opinion. It's like they're talking about things, like these guys here. Witness Spencer went outside to collect samples. Look concerned. He's late for Scrabble. Sound worried. You think he got lost? Look off into the distance, or eaten by the sand monster. So it's like, I don't know, I think it's been trying to be a little bit too smart for its own good. A little bit too satirical. A little too, I think sarcasm is the word. It's a little bit too sarcastic when you don't need to be. Anyways, Western resistance groups try to breach our archive's history sections, checking for updates. Oh, just check my feed, you're on it. Checking for updates. Like, most of the dialogue is like this, and when it's not, it's like super serious, like ham-fisted. Oh, society is gonna fail because of this and that, and I'm just like, it doesn't flow together very well. My worn IO board recognizes the path of this pattern. Pattern. Faceless keys, pads and dials. Dip, bend, and arc under the press, stroke, and stab of their fondest friends. My fingers. So, like, none of it is really engaging to me, to be honest. I like the general overall story and the world they've created, but as to the actual dialogue, it doesn't really do it for me. I think that's the only weakness of this game. Everything else is great. I like this game quite a bit. It looks great, it feels great, it sounds great. The soundtrack, if you pay attention to it, is pretty rad. On that, like, the animations here, like fighting feels very good. I'm playing again keyboard once again, and it feels pretty good on keyboard even. Maybe I'm just used to playing on keyboard, but the aesthetics, they nailed it. Everything has a certain style to it. But yeah, the dialogue though, I don't know. I'll show you guys some more examples. Oh, I did this one already. It's gonna come in the future in the forest. It's a little bit ham-fisted. 30 years after the war and we're still manually sorting information. Open new tab. Know any good tagging apps? Open new tab. Open new tab. I'm like, okay, I get it. I get what you're trying to do here. And it never really flows together, like I said before. Like, what does this have to do with the game world or what's happening? It creates a general tone and feel, but as to what they're saying, I don't think it really adds much. So here's a secret area, but you can't really do much right now. You're gonna see areas like this in the game quite a bit, where you're like, oh, there's a little doorway here. Oh, here's a little ladder here, and I'm like, oh, I didn't even see that. And then when you go in, you realize, oh, there's a little treasure here. That's why I think it's pretty similar to Legend of Zelda. It's kind of similar to those Metroidvania games where you need to get certain things to open up the map. Here's this guy. Oh wait, I gotta talk to the other guy first. Go. Preserver sets healthy limits to help humanity manage information overload. Index universal. Thesaurus, blah blah blah. Protect, proactive, peacekeeping, war. Preserver says the right word at the right time can make all the difference. Alright. Order chaos. When we set healthy limits on the overwhelming flow of information, humanity survives. Of course, with limits, there's resistance. Resistance is healthy, boundaries need testing. Left shelf, please. Shows us where to focus. Head west. Stop the resistance groups from spoiling our work. They're armed. Okay, now it tells you where to go. To the west. Can't answer my phone. Leave your name, blah blah blah. So like, all the dialogue is kind of like this, and it only gets a little bit more ham-fisted when it tries to be serious. And soon we'll see examples of that. Okay. Also, there's a giant cat here. I want to show it off real quick. So this area is very similar to the area that you see in the demo. There it is. Giant sand creature. And after you progress a little bit, you're gonna see that it changes quite dramatically. And here is a save point. Once you hit that, you save your game and you restore your health as well. Oh, unfortunate. I got snagged on one of those things. I am skipping a lot of side content, by the way. Just for the sake of time, because I want to get to Mr. P again. Quite deserving still, so, and that's gonna take a while. So this is my third time playing through this, at least up to that point, and hopefully I can get there faster than I did last time. Okay, there's just people hidden underneath the sand. You can tell because you can see their eyes. Also like a little lump, a little bump. Oh no, okay. Sometimes I don't know if it's the enemy, but there are blue plants that you can hit, and it does that psychedelic effect where everything is flipped. So if you press up, you'll go down. If you if you press left, you'll go right, etc., and vice versa. Here it is. If you are a puppet, and I am merely your reflection, whose fear are we facing? Whose fear would you bring into cradle? So it tries to be like dramatic, like serious, like deep, and it just comes off as a little bit ham-fisted, and it doesn't match with the rest of the game because it's so sarcastic. So, you know, it's like two different tones that they're trying to mash together, and in my opinion it doesn't work quite that well. Like the overall aesthetic, the storyline, all of that works, and that's pretty cool, but the actual text that they're putting out there doesn't match. So if you look here, you know, as I mentioned before, there are sections in the map where it's either a shortcut or leads to treasure. This one you need to landmine, but you can only do it in one direction. So they get pretty smart about how to design the map so that you can only go one direction in certain areas. So this one you have to blow it up from underneath, and then this opens up. You can't blow it up from this direction here, so that's pretty smart. You can kind of appreciate and notice map design the longer you play like 2D games. Here it is again, Senyata. Your path has led you here, but who is your guide? Once, on the path, I watched a young warrior bow to fear and ask, "How may I defeat you?" He replied, "My weapons are that I talk fast, get very close to your face, and you obey." Yeah, it's this weird mashing of trying to be serious and sarcastic at the same time. And that's Cloud. He has the Buster Sword. Okay. If you do not obey, I have no power. You can be convinced, you can believe, but you don't have to obey. It's cool. Oh, that hit me. The hitboxes are very generous, by the way. I mean, they're huge. But there's an ebb and flow to the combat that you're gonna get used to, where you know, you attack and then you just wait, you attack and you wait, like, just wait for this guy to swing. Yep. And then you attack, and then when he starts jumping, you attack, wait for him to jump, step back, attack, same, repeat, rinse. And generally you don't want to risk getting in more than one hit sometimes, because you don't have time for it and you'll just get hit and then you'll die. See, that hitbox is really generous. Okay, once again, when you die, there's really no penalty. You just start over again from the nearest save point, and all the progress that you made is saved. So, oh, I'm supposed to go this direction. Sometimes I forget where I am in the game because I played it so many times and I'm in different places for each of the save files, so I'm like, where am I supposed to go again? Alright, here we go. Second time is the charm. Oh great, alright. Well, I'm gonna come here because I don't deal with that BS. Okay. Yeah, most of the combat is pretty easy if you are patient and take your time. It's basically just don't get hit if possible. Play it safe. I really wanted to keep that sword, I'm gonna be honest. Okay, here's a cradle. And here's the green guy. So if you want some backstory, we're gonna have to go up now. So you'll find it by exploring the map. There are gonna be little secret rooms with the characters, and there'll be a wall of text giving you some backgrounds. So apparently I killed this guy in his sleep, and this is his cradle. Cradles are like ancient forms of technology. They'll give immortality to one person. So that's why you saw him floating around. And then there's like a religious cult based around the cradles. And those are the monks. You'll see them. Alright. And this is kind of like a new area. Like this area wasn't here in the demo. And it took me by surprise a little bit. Little baby cubes here. Oh yeah, I'm not supposed to go this direction. It's blocked off here. That's the shortcut back. Again, that's I was trying to run into the wall because I thought that was the door. Everything looks the same sometimes. Here, all empires start small. Two bunnies united by a common language, a common religion, currency, enemy. Become 4 bunnies, become 8 bunnies. I had a big family. They said danger was coming and ran. I hopped toward danger. Okay. That's great. So again, if you see the glowing lines, they usually mark an entrance or an exit. An authority will emerge, promising prosperity. Demand rises for more resources, more territory, more carrots for all. Mind you, I heard through the grapevine, there's a madman in the forest. It's kind of like Alice in Wonderland reference, and I can show you guys the little setup here. If I can find it. Okay, might not be here then. I will go over here. Oh, this is definitely not it. I will show it on the way back then. Oh, yep, I went the wrong way. I don't have the scan for that yet, so that's a glitch, and you can use an item to make it form a bridge. Let's make sure we're going the right way. Okay, this worked out, so I can show you guys the little party area that they have. Okay, so I was right. I do have to go towards this direction. Wonder why it didn't work out. Okay, here it is. Yeah, it's here. Right here. Looks just like from Alice in Wonderland. Wonder what happens if you kill all of that. I'm not gonna do it, but just a thought. Okay, yeah, this should be the correct path now. Over generations, authorities lose their purpose and become corrupt. Decadence, poverty, envy, violence, all shatter the empire from within. Ha 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 ha, I'm so cute. This is what I mean by I feel like the dialogue is a little bit disjointed. Because it's trying to match this like, oh, authorities become I mean, it's true, right? It's true, but like, it doesn't really show what's happening in the game. It's just like, oh, look at this NPC, it's delivering this dialogue, and then it ends with ha ha ha, I'm so cute. It's like, I don't know what it's trying to do there, but you know, if you're trying to be serious, you're undermining yourself by trying to add funny bits, sarcastic funny bits at the end every single time. So I think, in my opinion, it has to be more cohesive, you know, either completely serious, you know, or like sarcastic all the way, or just like semi-serious with a little bit of humor. But when you have such a stark contrast, it undermines, you know, both aspects. Like trying to be serious and then funny undermines you trying to be funny, and the funny part tries to it undermines you trying to be serious. It's also a little bit ham-fisted. Like, you know, if you read that again, like, oh, I attacked it. Over generations, authorities lose their purpose and become corrupt. Blah blah blah. And it's just like, okay. It's like, okay. It's a little less appealing when you're trying to, like, it feels like you're trying to shove something in my face, you know? I didn't ask for this. War never changes. It's a lot easier for the person playing to kind of resonate with what you're trying to do if you show it through what's happening in the game. Infinite growth is never possible in a closed system. Civil unrest, war and death are inevitable. The end of an empire is the beginning of another. Religion, tradition, and promise rise from the scorched earth. Check out my fancy horn. See, it does it again. Now, it's not like it's bad, but more like, why? And again, this is the only thing that I have a minor nitpick with the game. I love everything else. I think everything else is quite fantastic. Here's another Zenyatta. Sounds to the balls he has sticks. So here's the reference where it's like, you killed Green in his sleep. Wake up, killer, wake up. Code Red Mountain Dew. Alright. So this is a doorway. You can't really tell. So that one's a little bit hard. I mean, you can always look at the mini-map. It's suspiciously phallic. Solus was here. Yes, I'm going the wrong way. This is the shortcut back. I'm just trying to play without looking at the map so much, but I highly recommend checking the map every once in a while and you'll know exactly where to go. Well, not exactly, but you'll have a better idea. Because if you look here, all of the blue squares are entrances that you haven't visited. So if you're lost, if you're stuck, go back and visit one of the blue boxes that are not linked to anything. So if you look here, we got these two in the lower right hand side over here. Like, we got that one where we just came from, we got the one on the way left, and those are probably like blocked off if you can't access them. Alright, here's the cradle. I like this part. The AI cube suddenly turns into an AI waifu. Okay, so this area is like a little hub world where it shows you all the stuff that you got. And you can read the item description again. So for the shotgun, it's like, useful for riot control. Alright, and you see that again, and here's your new item. Okay, so this is the thing that will let you open up the bridgeways with the glitches. I went the wrong way again. Over here. So the little cubes that are like blinking, that's a bridge that you can build. And then this is where the game opens up a little bit. So you gotta find 3 memories, and to get to them, there's a lot of work you have to do. We're gonna go fight Mr. P to get to the first one. Well, not even get to the first one, to open up the way to the first one. This spoopy girl guy walks out from a bush, and then you're like, let's follow that. That's a horror film in the making, my guy. I would not want to do that at all. That's how you die. And then here, if you notice, the music will change to like a western. And so I kind of treat them as cowboys. Like, Brother Valor, you inspecting the mods today? No fling monks, no fluid scavengers, nobody to shoot. My man Dottie here is handling the rabid wildlife. Testing the new Revolver 3K with liquid cooling, auto rejection, crowd control, and what have you. Right, Dottie? Right. Called her Clementine. I said Clementine because it sounds more western, right? Than Sylvia. It's so hilarious. They're just shooting everything. You can go in there and get hit. They killed everything. Savages. They killed literally everything. But yeah, I'm gonna take a moment here and just let the music play. Such a good mix. I love the soundtrack in this game. It's like you got the western, and then you got like the synth, like almost like a retro soundtrack, right? Kind of blending together. It's this beautiful mix of the old and the new, and it sounds so good. Ah, all right. Let's go save. Beautiful. Are you visiting our sauna to inspect the mines? Lately, we're suffering through times of dukkha. Namaste. So it's kind of like a mix of Buddhism, and if you read the little factoid background info, it's like a mix of Buddhism, altruism, and the Empire did this because they realized they couldn't completely eradicate religion, so they made their own, and it kind of forces those people. It changed it so it basically just worked. So they turned them into a labor class. Okay, I'm locked here. Those guys are scary. The long-armed monks, they're mutated somehow. They have a spin to win move once you get them low enough. Try to avoid fighting here. Oh, it's a dead end. I make this mistake every time I come here. I'm supposed to go down over here. It's kind of easy to get lost here, so if you do get lost, don't feel bad. It's quite natural. So basically they were mining and then they got trapped because it got flooded, and your first mission is to kind of activate the pumps so that they could rescue the trapped monks. And that's your first mission. And remember here, this is blocked off, so this is the mine shaft that you have to return to. Again, it's not readily apparent because once you get the mines, you're like, oh, I guess I'm supposed to go all the way down here to the blinking triangle. Nope. Make sure you go back, alright? So there's a save point. Here it comes. I pooped my pants when I saw this guy early because he was one of the bosses in the demo. And I'm like, oh lordy. Oh lordy, that was a fire. Ooh, okay. Like I said, please leave me alone. Oh! Okay. Time to fight is not now, yellow worm thing. I shall return to defeat you later. Okay. So here it is, the landmines, the first thing you need to kind of open up the rest of the map. Pretty neat weapon too if you like fighting passively. Dismantle matter with nanobots. Okay. So example, these debris thingies that block your way, you can now remove them. And open up quite a bit of the map here. Ooh. I was just trying to find some health. I almost bombed myself there. I forget the fastest route to where I want to go, even though this is my third time playing. Can be a little bit confusing. And here we are. Remember to return back here, it's vital. And this should look familiar if you played the demo. You are on your way to battle Mr. P. That's his actual name. And it looks like something very familiar. Oh, creepy child. Yes, you want to stay far away from the creepy child. Okay, see, that's where you got, if you're like, oh, activate the 3 pumps. Now you have a clear goal. And if you look here, this is the path to Mr. P. So when you get here and you die, don't worry, because you can literally climb down the stairs. It's next to the save point, and you'll have destroyed this area to get to Mr. P in the first place, so it'll be wide open. So I really appreciate the map design in this game. For the most part, like, it opens up in one way, and then once you open it up, there's a lot of shortcuts where you can just cut through the entire map. In addition to not having death be so punishing, so I think overall the game design is lovely, wonderful. Oh, I think I completely ignored this area. It's kind of funny. The first time through. Yeah, don't poke me. Do you even live, bro? There you go, spin to win activated. Now we just skedaddle on out. These rock dudes are annoying. Just plant a bomb and walk away. That's their death animation. I feel like there's like a secret ending if you don't kill anything. That's my gut feeling. I'm probably wrong, but you know, I want to have a playthrough where I kill literally nothing. Not even like the little thingamabobs that are wandering around the map, like animals, robots, etc. To get cool little narrative elements here where, you know, this muck got infected clearly and somehow he's still sane. And it's telling you some tidbits that you can't really understand until you see the whole picture. So that part of the narrative I really enjoy, but when it's trying to kind of be, you know, too sarcastic and serious in the same sentence, that's when it's kind of loses its shine for me. Just let me through. I'm almost dead already. Oh no, I killed that one. Whatever. I wasn't doing a pacifist run on this save file anyways. Okay, here's one of the pumps. That's so gross, it looks like pee. Or lemonade. Lemonade is good, pee is bad. There's a bunny here, what the heck? Why? Oh shoot, this is the dead end here. I am trapped. I'm just looking for help. Okay, well, I gotta go up now. I might die here, but it's okay. Whoa! Spin to win, dude. God, I've trapped myself again. Thank goodness for sprint though, let me tell you. Alright, let's pump number 2. Oh, yeah, I was like, I'm gonna run into a rock here. But the good news is, again, I've pretty much saved all of that, and I just start fresh from the save point with full health. Now the only inconvenience is I have to start here and go back down, but honestly, it's not that bad. Okay. This spoopy child, run away. Run away from the spoopy child. Oh jeez. So many spin to wins. Oh, I'm trapped, darn it. Sometimes when I'm not paying attention, I get stuck on like a little like cabinet or a rock or something. Okay. I am a little bit lost as to where I didn't cover yet. Oh, I can't go down yet. I gotta find Mr. P. It's weird. Ouch. Okay, I'm tired of these guys now. I think I might kill everything. Alright. Oh, I've been here before. Where do I go? How did I find Mr. P so easily last time? I don't even understand. Okay, I died. Right. Okay, let me take a look at the map real quick. So, oh, that's weird. I feel like I should have run into him. This ladder here. On that mid part. Alright. I got the general location down now. No mercy. As I run away. Okay, we gotta go all the way up now. Alright. Wait, can I go across here? Yes. Alright. Jeez. There should be an elevator shaft over here. Oh, this is why I missed it. It's this stupid little thingamabob. Uh-oh. There we go. Got through. I like how those things have faces and they cry when they smash themselves into the wall. There we go. Now we can find Mr. P. Alright. The moment we've all been waiting for. Get out of here, Green! Are you being pushed or are you pulled? A good question for a marionette. Wow, so deep. Want me to be impressed here? It's funny, like Green is trying to be the villain when the true villain here is Mr. P. Let's be real. Look at this guy. I don't get why he's angry. I freed him. I rescued you, Mr. P. Like, why are you so angry? Why so mad? It's definitely a dong. I'm not gonna lie. Look at that. Ugh, it's so nasty. Okay, I'm not gonna, again, don't risk getting hit. It's just gonna be easier. I know it takes longer. But Mr. P is a dum-dum, and he will eventually get knocked down. Oh shoot, I got hit, darn it. Oh, what the heck am I doing right now? I'm so out of it. There we go. Uh-oh, he's splitting into two. Found it the easiest to focus on one at a time. You could totally make them run into each other, by the way. If you're smart enough. I am a dum-dum, so. Yeah, playing it safe is better than being sorry. Now there's more. A little PP, small PP gang. Oh no, yep. I might die here. Oh my god, this is like the most frightening thing ever, you know? Bunch of small PPs chasing you? You kidding me? It's frightening. They will literally kill themselves if you do this long enough, though. Ooh. I could have killed that. I did it. Oh man, I beat Mr. P on my first try for the first time ever. I'm proud of myself. Patting myself on the back right now. And I got some health. What luck. Alright, we've gotten all 3 switches. We've gotten to Mr. P and killed him on our first try within an hour. This is probably my best run so far out of all 3 runs, including, I mean, 4 runs if I count the demo, but the demo was a different beast. This is way more content here, but yeah. Alright, I'm gonna end it here because I don't want to spoil too much of the game. If you guys want to see a playthrough, let me know. I'll record that later. But basically, I just wanted to show off the first hour. I mean, this is gonna take you guys more than an hour if it's your first time through. Like when I played it, I think it took me 3 hours to get to this point. Because, you know, it's kind of easy to get lost. You gotta explore the map. You gotta experiment with different paths and etc. Anyways, I'm having a blast with this game and I hope more people check it out. This is Resolution with 2 eyes by Monolith of Minds. Again, it's out for Steam, for PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. And the current MSRP on Steam is $19.99. so the other platforms should be priced accordingly. I believe like Switch games are always a little bit more expensive than the other consoles. Anyways, there you have it, folks. Resolution with 2 eyes. That's it. Man, I can't believe I beat Mr. P on my first try, but there you have it, folks. Thank you so much for dropping by and watching. I really do appreciate it. If you have any questions, comments, things you'd like to see, please feel free to leave a comment down below. And as always, hope you guys are staying safe and sane out there, and catch you guys next time.